Welcome everyone to the first interview of this brand new event. The Beacon Duo League is kicking off, and we're starting it off with an interview with Lynn, who is one of the mappers this season and who is joining us for this lovely interview. How are you, Lynn?
Hi guys, been pretty good. This interview has actually been delayed a bit because of some health issues. But okay, we good now. Today we are good.
Nice. So I want to start with a first question. Initially, when we reached out to you to map for Beacon, what was your reaction? Were you expecting it, or was it a bit of a surprise?
I was really surprised actually, because I never thought that I can be good enough for Beacon.
Okay.
Not like in mapping creativity, but in route difficulty. So my route has always been, I think, way too easy for the Beacon standard. So I can consider myself pretty lucky, I guess.
Building up to this, what is your experience with comp mapping? What competitions have you mapped for, and what really would you say your style of mapping is?
So for my track mediation, at first I was just a senior guru,
Mm-hmm.
because I had a little bit of experience with pixel art. So for me to try to map in Trackmania with scenery was pretty good. And my first accepted comp route was into South American Cup, I think. I forgot the year. I think 2023. And from that on, I mostly work on comp map, with the exceptions of some group projects that I only did it because I had friends for me to do it with.
Mm-hmm.
Else, I just stopped doing the check of the day routes altogether.
I think I described it once to Asa when we were looking at your map, is that you take the sort of childish, kind of fun ideas that the more serious minded mappers wouldn't try to attempt, but you actually find a way to make them work. You always try and find unique ways of making turns happen, and the end result is actually makes for quite a fun experience from a player's perspective. At least that's the impression that I got from your map.
I have inspiration from three mappers, I think. It's Kerberos, Mephisto, and Banado. As you can see, Banado. My mapping style is I like to try out weird things. But I don't know if they play good or not. And I certainly sometimes cannot test if they are actually calculated and good, because I have skill issue. But then come back to the Beacon story, because Beacon is for top
Mm-hmm.
players, so the testers will also be as good. So I have the time and the people who help me to.
Yeah, it's. I guess that's one of the benefits of this sort of process, is having that help on hand. And an interesting little fact is that you're the first non-European mapper to actually make a map for Beacon, which I think, in the vein of our events that are open, to everyone around the world, it's nice that we can involve somebody from one of the minor regions.
The thing is, with me being Asian, uh, I never thought an Asian mapper can make it into the big league. Because I certainly saw many uh, mappers from Oceania doing wacky stuff,
Mm.
and those Americans with their dual cups with their weird ideas. Um, I think Asia is like the least represented in the mapping scene.
Mm.
I don't see many up and coming promising mappers currently. I can pinpoint some. I think Tryhard Noobs. I will give him a shout out. I really like his race maps. but yeah, like I think with this opportunities, maybe some other mappers in Asia can rise up to the occasion. Yeah.
And inspire the next generation. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. So, how did you find the overall process of mapping for Beacon? I know it's quite different to some other competitive events in the way that input is given. So how did you find it from your perspective?
Yeah, so I have multiple testers, of course. And my approach to this mapping journey is just to build small sections and see if the testers like it. Is it calculated? Is it difficult enough? And if they agree and like they accept the part, then I will continue on to the next part. That also means that the process is pretty long. It spans lots of days with me just redoing parts, changing parts because sometimes the parts are too easy, sometimes it's uncalculated, sometimes the idea is not consistent enough for pro play. With that, it helped me a lot in just continuing the map until it's fully finished. With it, yeah.
I think it definitely shines through with the end result. You can definitely see your style of mapping throughout the map, which is quite nice, and that level of difficulty is definitely maintained. But what was your sort of intention with the map? Did you have any ideas going into it of what you wanted it to look like or play like?
There was a map that I did before that kind of inspired some sections in Marble. It was a map from PATC. I will not say the name because some people might be going to try it out. So no thanks. But yeah, a bit of inspiration. I try to just add a lot of wacky stuff as much as possible without causing players like the consistency. I try to avoid the Mahoraga treatment, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want just being just make one mistake and be like 10 seconds behind.
So your map then, Marabello. I have to ask before we delve into it, what's the inspiration behind the name?
To be honest, like it just occurred. I didn't even think of it. I just searched. No, I didn't search. I just tried to think of something sound like Italian.
Okay.
I don't think that it is a word Italian though. It's just a random word that I just make it up by myself. Just black and white, and those mafia films of Italian mafia.
Okay, it makes sense. I did check it up before the interview, and I think Marabello. I think it is like coastal town in Italy or something.
Oh yeah, I think it's a coincidence.
It must be.
Yeah.
But there we are. But Marabello, how would you describe it to somebody who hasn't seen the map before? How would you describe the map?
I mean, I think for a person who's first see the map, they will be like, "What the fuck?" I just put dank stuff right after dank stuff, and I don't feel bad about it as long as they are consistent enough for the players, and I believe they are consistent enough for the Div 2 caliber players in this competition.
And is there any of those, because there are multiple features that I think are quite interesting, but any key feature that you'd like to highlight or you think players should look out for?
I think they in this one I use sculptures. You know those TMNF sculpture blocks that quickly imported into TM 2020?
Yeah.
I use those parts not for only transition though. So you better watch out.
The section I personally really like, I think, is the one just after that where you have a jump into the sort of ice wall, and then that sort of ice slide into the booster, which I found really interesting to play. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing the pros give it a go. And the final question then, looking forward to the season, what are you most looking forward to about the Beacon Duo League?
I think I will look forward to the return of 2v2. I think
Mm.
I want the competition to spark the 2v2 spirit back. I think it is a really cool format.
Mm.
We used it for Asia Oceania Premier League, which I managed the map pack for. I think in earlier last year,
Mm-hmm.
but then the 2v2 got bombed by Nadal, so we didn't have a chance to do a second AOPL, which I really want.
It's definitely going to be exciting to see duos back, but not only just the duos format, the best players in the world playing the duos format, which I think everybody's excited for. But Lynn, thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing what everybody thinks of the map, and thank you for all your hard work.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Bye bye.